Hi everyone. This week we've got Mike on the show from HomeLet, Let Alliance, Rent for Sure, the whole group. We're going to be talking about challenges facing letting agents, support, and new income streams. Before I let Mike do his introduction, I would like to say he is a fellow Evertonian. We are rare, so it's lovely to have one on the show. So, Mike, give us your introduction, sir. What you've been doing and what you've been up to.
Yeah, I think the most important bit is obviously fellow Evertonian. I think the pair of us, it's safe to say, our hairlines are starting to go into the back of our heads.
Yep.
It's a painful time being a blue at the minute, but no, more importantly, I am the sales director for the largest tenant referencing insurance provider on the market for letting agents. It seems like when with the opening section where you said HomeLet, Let Alliance, Rent for Sure, you might as well list them all, because that's where we're at this moment in time. It's really exciting times for the business. I have been around the lettings industry for a number of years, got a lot of experience, and I don't think it's been more of a challenging time as it's been over the last couple of years in a large number of years. So it's interesting to obviously look at that and share some of the feedback on what we're finding with other agents that we're working with. We work with some 6,500 across the country, so we've got a good spread.
No, that's brilliant. My first question. It's good that good you come on the show with the level of agents and stuff that you have with the group. Is on what challenges are you seeing that letting agents are faced with?
So I think the obvious one at the minute, it's evident in our rental index that we share every month. The real valuable aspect of what we provide to letting agents is also that we compile a lot of data around the overall market and the impact on the market. And our rental index is a tool that lots of industry bodies and mainstream news articles, yourselves as well, tap into to share updates on. And what we're finding is that there's a lack of stock, and there's been a spike in demand. There's lots of reasons for that. Rents have increased astronomically across the board. And as a result of that, tenants are staying longer in properties. So tenants that are maybe in a property that potentially would be quite keen on moving, and now in a position of, do I move? Do I stay? So it's a bitter cycle at this moment in time. That cycle will break at some point. You go through these periods, but because of the increase in demand, we're seeing a lot of letting agents having to deal with a lot of day-to-day admin, just dealing with the amount of calls and the amount of tenants wanting to view properties, and it's obviously challenging at this moment in time for our letting agent partners.
No, I can understand that, and it is a great rental index that you send around. We always publish it. The findings are fantastic. So it is a great thing that you send around. I want to ask you on the kind of what actions is the group taking to support the agents at the moment?
Yeah, I think the single most important action from our perspective is trying to streamline and use technology to support that journey. So if we can improve our technology to support with the increase in demand, is really, really powerful. Utilize the data sets that we've got so that agents can use that in their marketing to try and attract more landlords where there is the possibility of seeing that. We have seen recently there's been a little bit of a climb in investors wanting to come back into the market. So it might be that the ray of light is there at the end of the is there at the end of the corridor, and we're starting to see that. But for us, it's about supporting, utilising the skills that we've got to build technology, but also quality. I think I've said this before in an interview with you, Lee, that referencing can be seen as a commodity. It's a task that you have to do to facilitate the moving of tenant in from applying from property to moving into property. but it's really, really important that you assess the quality of the referencing and the amount of data that we've got access to, the relationships we've got in terms of the amount of technology we've got in the background, but also combine that with the people that we've got in the business. What has really struck me, especially coming into the home-let side of the business, is the tenure of the team. It's amazing. We've got people in our referencing team that have been around for 15, 16 years plus. We've got senior managers across the business that have been around for a long time, and they've got a lot of experience. And we've seen fraud increase, obviously with the amount of demand increasing, the opportunity for fraud increases. So quality is so important, and we're constantly improving and working on how to take quality to the next level.
No, I'd 100% agree with that, Mike. Quality is so important because you get it right from the start. It makes a huge difference to fixing things later. There's a classic saying I like: prevention is better than cure.
100%.
But I also want to speak to you, Mike, on tapping into new income streams. I know that's something you do, and why is that important at the moment to tap into them? So give us an overview.
So I think for a letting agent, with the challenges in the lack of stock at this moment in time, and with there being the uncertainty around when the market will wake up to a certain degree, and we'll start to hopefully see more landlords come into the market. We've obviously got a booming build to rent side of the industry, but aside from that, your typical letting agent that makes up that 6,500 that we've got that use us for referencing. There's one of two real routes for you to plug that gap and to start to deliver growth in the business from an income perspective, and that's through acquisition. So we're seeing there's a lot of consolidation in the market. I mean, there's an example of it with us as a business. Home Let Alliance, Rent for Sure, we're all separate businesses once upon a time, and we've all come together, brought the best in class together, and we're going to use that to improve the service to letting agents moving forward. But you're seeing it across the lettings industry overall. There's a lot of the larger letting agents acquiring the independents, and you're seeing a lot of the larger independents in local areas doing that as well. So that's one route, but also the second route that a lot of agents don't generally make best use of is so powerful that when you've got a tenant that applies for a property and wants to move into a property, up and until the point of which they collect the keys, we should be, and the reason I say should be, because we do this for some, is we should be generating for up to £350 per property per year. And that's made up of services that a tenant and a landlord would ordinarily get anyway. So why not get via the power of the relationship and the partnership you've got with ourselves as a business? And that's made up of things like tenant insurance, broadband TV packages, utilities, rental guarantee insurance, landlords, buildings and contents insurance. And all these different services will generate an income stream, and it allows agents to differentiate their income streams. And we've got the impending recession. I mean, I was driving into work this morning and it was in the local news, doom and gloom yet again. We've had it for 2.5 years, it seems like, and it's still continuing to fester. And there's a lot of challenges on people's ability to pay rent. With rents increasing, that risk is increasing. And it's really important to differentiate income streams where there's the impending doom of the market potentially falling flat and the economy being impacted in a negative way. And if you have different sources of income, it's only going to benefit you in the long term. And we can support that. We really can. And the average letting agent, I tend to find, has 200 managed properties or 200 properties that they use. And if you're making £350 per property, that's a lot of money. It's £70,000 a year that you're not tapping into at this moment in time. And I would challenge any letting agent that's listening to this, that's a customer of ours, to get in touch with a member of my team, one of the CDMs that looks after your day to day, because that challenge us, ask us how we do it, because we trust me, we're sitting there, we want to do it, and we know we can deliver it.
No, I think you're 100% right. The income streams are a massive thing. Differentiating them is huge in terms of you've got that from the lettings, that from the sales, that from work, a partnership with yourselves or whatever else, you know, the other options that people have. I do think that it's a massive thing and something that could be looked at. So, Mike, that's all my questions. Thanks so much for coming on the show, and I really, really appreciate it.
No worries.